Now playing the Hook and Bridge podcast.
I fucking love Kesha. I'm telling you, I'm the worst person to have a podcast. I can barely speak.
Oh my god, I love doing this!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Harley. Today, joined by nobody. I'm running solo this morning. But we have a super special guest joining us. Very excited to talk to you, Lauren. Her new EP comes out on April 18th. It is titled Hanging in the Balance. The track Ghost is the focus track of the EP, right?
Yes.
I really enjoy, like, it has this eerie undertone with a very pop heavy beat that runs throughout it. And then obviously your more pop centric vocals come through. It's reminiscent, I would say, of artists like Halsey and like early Billie Eilish songs.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's a very cool track. I'm really interested in the production value on the entire EP and just the direction that you went with it. But without further ado, everybody, please welcome to the show Lauren Presley, up and coming pop centric artist, right?
Thank you so much.
So the first thing I want to ask you is your time on TV. You were on a show back in the day called Chasing Nashville.
Yeah, that feels like a million years ago now.
I mean, basically, right? It's over a decade at this point.
Like, yeah, I was 12 when I first went on the show. And I think I was turning 13 or had just turned 13 when it started to air. So yeah, like 12 and 13, and I'm 25 now. So yeah, that feels like forever ago. but such a cool, like a weird but very, very cool experience.
Right. So with that show, so you started at like 12, it aired when you were 13, but you were on it for a while, right? Like I think I saw a lot of like your childhood basically was just out there.
Thank you for the
I think I saw
whole.
your graduation party on YouTube. It was really interesting.
Yeah. So the show actually, it was on Lifetime channel. And I don't know. I think like I thought it would honestly be more focused on like the music itself and like the real kind of like behind the scenes like careers, of me and the other girls that were in the show. Um, it went in a little bit more of like a Dance Moms, like that show, like type beat, but music. And I guess a little more focused on like us versus like the parents, like Dance Moms, but just like a little more, catty and drama and like whatever. And like I I had been through like some bullying and like things like that, like in school and stuff, and like that was traumatizing enough. And so for that to be like kind of one of the focuses on the show, like that was maybe like one of the hardest parts for me. And I think I remember like literally telling one of the producers, like, I'm here to do music, like not to do this drama, whatever it is. So yeah, that is like one of the things that stands out for me. It actually got canceled on the first season. So it actually, like, we filmed for a while. We filmed for 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And so it was just constantly like we traveled back and forth between here in Nashville, and then a couple places in Kentucky. Most of the girls lived in Kentucky. So yeah, it was like life on the road. I was homeschooled during that time, and I ended up getting super behind because I mean we were filming like 6 days a week, like 10 hours a day at, 12 years old. And so there just wasn't much time left
Right.
for like school. So I ended up getting super behind and I was in the 7th grade. I had to redo the 7th grade like the next year. And so it kind of set me behind as far as like when I would graduate. And so I ended up I believe, yeah, junior and senior year, I did online and ended up finishing a year early, which really was on time for me.
Right, right.
I didn't want to graduate like later than when I was supposed to. So yeah, but it got canceled on the first season. I think there was 9 episodes and I think only 7 aired, and it got canceled like due to ratings, I guess.
Yeah.
So that, that's kind of sucked, like as a young artist, and you're like, oh my god, like this is such an amazing opportunity. You're like watching yourself on TV, and you see all these like the following, on Instagram coming through and things like that, and it's like, this is it, like it's, this has always been my dream, like what I want to do, and it's finally happening. And then for it to be like, oh, never mind, rug pulled out from under you, is kind of like a, oh shit, type
Yeah.
moment. But I learned a lot though. It was amazing, and I'm super grateful for it. I think it kind of helped me grow up. I think for sure, like going through something at that age, like you don't have time really for like a normal childhood. I didn't have a normal childhood outside of the show anyway. And so like adding that on top of it, it's like, yeah, I had to kind of grow up really fast. But overall, like a really amazing experience, and super grateful for it. It taught me a lot about the industry as well. And that's actually what made me move to Nashville, because I had lived in Texas before, and they had found one of my YouTube videos where I was singing this cover of a song. And they reached out to me on Facebook and, talked to my mom, and they were super, professional about it. And they were like, you need to come out to, I think it was North Carolina, to do this trial filming. And so we went out there, did the trial filming, and they ended up picking me and the 3, other main girls.
Hmm.
And then shortly after that, we left Texas and came to Nashville and started the filming. And then my mom was a teacher, and she like quit her job in Texas. And yeah, my parents are divorced, so it was just my mom and I. And so yeah, we like came to Nashville. We were filming, and then ended up like renting this little cottage on a farm in Franklin, and like never went back. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy crazy story.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, the fact that the show moved more to the reality TV aspect. I auditioned for America's Got Talent when I was in high school. Um, Not much older than you. I think I was 13, 14, something like that. And same thing, went through the process, got there, did my initial audition, and then it became about the story, right? The
Right.
sad story. What are you bringing to the table? And it wasn't a focus on the music anymore. It wasn't a focus on the talent. It became
Mhm.
about the charity case, right? So
Yeah.
it's part of the industry, but it does. It makes us grow. And look at you now. You got this incredible EP out, and I am guessing from listening to it, a lot of those themes from that troubled childhood have come through in this for sure. Um,
Yes. Yeah. Um, I think I was on my way to a session one day, and it was kind of before the EP, like a lot of my older stuff, like they're kind of I don't know, more like fun, sassy, kind of whatever, and
yeah,
not like super serious, and so I had never really put out something that was like that serious or like deep. I mean, it's still meaningful to me, but like not at the same level as like this EP and the songs that are on this EP are. And so I was on my way to a session, and I was like, I I was kind of going through a rough time just mentally. And I was like, I just have so much shit like deep down that like I've never written about, and I just feel like I just like felt this pull to like get that out of my system. And so I kind of challenged myself like to be as vulnerable as humanly possible that day
Right.
in that session, and just see how it goes and see what happens. And that's the day that we wrote People Leave, and which is the first song on the EP. And I released that back in November. And just like to see like kind of like the movement that it's had and like the effect that it's had on people, especially on TikTok. Like people have just really resonated with it and related to it. And that was my hope, honestly. I was like, my goal is like, I want to be as real and like honest and vulnerable as I possibly can, because I just want people to like see that. And I think when it is real, like people see that, you know.
Mhm.
And I think they did, you know, thankfully. And people, it's just really meant a lot to me and to other people. I've gotten a few messages of people saying, like, you know, they didn't want to be here anymore, pretty much. And they came across my song on TikTok and they just felt super like connected to me and connected to the song and related so much. And that this, like, it's really helped them through this period. And that just like, I mean, it means so much to me, you know, just the song itself, because it comes from such a deep place within me. But then to see how much like other people like really connect with it too is like, ugh, like, you know, like that's
Yeah.
really like the cherry on top for me.
That's as songwriters, right? That's like our goal is providing people that relatability of being able to say like, "Hey, I also went through that," you know?
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of which, Ghost of Myself, the song Ghost, um, is a reflection of your inner dialogue, right? I feel like that's pretty obvious, and the change that you've went through as an artist of moving from country to pop to now this EP, it's been pushed as pop, and I get the reason behind it, but as a guitar player and as somebody who loves hard rock, heavy metal music,
Mhm.
this falls much more in line with that movement of the early 2000s with like an Evanescence and a Paramore,
Yeah.
melodically at least. I think that
Yeah.
your vocals, just because of your strengths as an artist, are very poppy vocals, but it's this really cool blend. Um, so that inner dialogue, how do you think that that song has kind of shined for you as an artist to kind of outline like where you've went from those early days?
Yeah, I think to me, like the whole project is kind of, I call it personally like alt pop slash rock.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm just inspired by kind of all three of those genres. So, and that's just stylistically and sonically, like, that's just very me. And so I try to kind of mesh all of those into one for this EP. And I feel like some of the songs do lean more rock, you know, and then others lean more pop. Like People Leave, I feel like leans more in like the Evanescence.
Yes, for sure.
I've had so many people tell me that about People Leave, like that the what is the song, like Bring Me to Life? Is that,
Mhm.
yes, by Evanescence? Like everybody's like People Leave remind me of this song so much. And yeah, I totally see that. But then on the other hand, like Ghost, for example, I feel like leans more like dark pop or alt pop.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely dark. Like the
yeah,
tonality is dark.
yeah,
Um, but production, there's still like there's this through line of like this distorted guitar, which is where I think the rock aspect is coming in. Um, Speaking of People Leave, there's a band that you've got to check out. It's called New Year's Day. I think
okay.
you would absolutely love them.
I think I've
It's
heard of them.
yeah, it's right up your alley of it's a really great like mix of what you're doing. Um,
Yeah.
what
Okay.
were some of your influences though?
Um,
Rock
it's
influences.
okay,
Let's steer
more
towards
rock. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, there's so many. I think for rock, my main my ride or die go to, especially like riding the EP, like Maggie Lindemann was
Hmm.
like one of my references for like almost every session that I had. So yeah, a lot of Maggie Lindemann. Some of like Fletcher's stuff lean more
Okay.
in that kind of like pop rock area. So yeah. Um and then yeah, I guess most of the others are more pop, like Billy, Halsey, yeah. So, oh, and Chandler Lighton, um, she is like, I love her. She's actually based out of LA, and she is not like to like mega stardom yet, but like she will be. Like she's amazing, and she is very like kind of alt pop as well, but like a little bit of rock. So I listen to a lot of her stuff too. So yeah, kind of all of those like meshed into one.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like the Fletcher reference. Not too many people listen to Fletcher.
I know. Well, yeah, she's another one that like she's not like a household name maybe yet,
Yeah.
but I love her. Yeah, honestly, I don't even really listen to a lot of like mainstream, artists anymore other than like Billy,
Hmm.
love Billy. But yeah, all my other people that are super inspiring and I look up to and reference and stuff, they're not quite to that level yet, and I don't know, maybe I just like feeling like I'm like on to them before like the rest of the world catches on. I don't know.
Right. So it's no shock to me that you've loved music for so long. Your family has a very deep, rich history of music. Um, Tell us about the legacy of the Presleys.
Yes. So I don't know this 100%. And I always say that disclaimer because I'm like, nobody come after me. But I think that we are related to Elvis. Yeah, somebody in my family had traced it and said that we were. I tried to trace it myself on like ancestry.com, but um, at the time, and this was years ago, so maybe it's different now, but at that time, like I had to have the names of like my great, great, great so and so, and like a bunch of birth dates and like death dates and names and things like that. And so I got kind of far back, but not far back enough to where it would connect to Elvis. And I kind of got stuck because I didn't have the information that I needed. But I traced it back enough to where somebody distantly in my family, they were born in Tupelo, Mississippi, which is where Elvis is from. And so I was like, that's interesting. Like that kind of makes me think that, yeah, I am. But yeah, I guess I don't go out like saying like, yes, I am, because I don't have like the paperwork to like prove that. But yeah, my dad side of the family, like they pretty much all sing and are musically inclined. Like my grandmother, my dad's mom, she was in a choir like almost her whole life, I believe. My dad used to sing when he was younger. He never really pursued it like as a career, but I mean, he was like an amazing singer. I mean, he totally could have if he wanted it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of in the bloodline, I guess.
Um, so I reference that because I think that I saw your family uh owned some sort of a music store, right?
Um, not to my knowledge.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Different Presleys.
different Presley. I think there is another Lauren Presley, like my exact name, that does music or used to do music. Not sure if they still are. So could be her or her family.
That
I don't
that's a
know.
very crazy coincidence.
I know. And then like it also doesn't help the confusion that, Elvis's daughter is Lisa Marie Presley and my name is Lauren Marie Presley. Same middle.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, sometimes it kind of gets confusing.
So let's see here. I don't want to dive into the good stuff quite yet. Let's talk about the through line lyrically, because I love writing songs. The through line lyrically that I picked up when I listened to the EP. I mean, I listened to it probably 10 times. I'm really big about examining lyrics. Um, and this one really spoke to me in the sense of it's about not being able to love yourself and the journey of finding the struggle of dealing with that, and also looking for the answers on why and how to get better. Am I kind of on the right page here?
Yeah, yeah. I think honestly, I mean, I think like each song there's a lot of like meat in there. So I think each one like has that kind of concept at least somewhere in the song. But are you talking about Can I Be Happy?
Well, I mean, can I be happy? Paralyzed.
Yeah, they
Ghost
all
is
kind of.
obvious. Yeah, it's this idea of like I don't want to call it self deprecation, but it's very similar to that, right? It's this idea of looking for why I can't love myself and finding reasons and blaming, this, that, or the other, but ultimately dealing with that struggle of the mental side of it, and understanding that you do need help. And um, putting this together obviously was therapeutic for you. Did you feel this weight lifted off your shoulders when you finally put it to paper and got it out there?
I did. I really did. Which is why it was so therapeutic for me. Like I just really feel like I had so much stuff just like pent up, like emotional stuff that I like in my normal like daily life, like I'm not somebody that like opens up really to people. Like I just tend to like keep all of that to myself. So music and like in the writing room is kind of my only time to where I kind of like allow myself to like let all of that out. Um, and it was scary, like I mean, because I co-wrote all these songs with either two or three people. It's usually me, the producer, and then one or two other writers. Um, and it's kind of scary, like pouring your guts out like in front of these people. And luckily, like my coworkers and producers are just like amazing, and I'm friends with pretty much all of them at this point, and we've been working together for a little while, so I'm comfortable in that regard with them. But it's just vulnerable and scary talking about stuff that's that deep with anybody pretty much. So yeah, it was really like empowering, I guess would be the word for it, to get all of that out. And after putting the whole EP together and like listening through, like I really felt strongly like, wow, like I like poured so much of myself into this, and like I could not have been more honest in this
Hmm.
EP. So I'm just really like proud of myself from that aspect. And yeah, I just and with, Can I Be Happy and People Leave being out already, and people seemingly, resonating with those, and I think it has helped people. And so, I'm just proud in that regard too.
So you're still on, obviously we all are, right, on this journey of finding that self-love, and the journey of getting better and feeling better. Do you feel that now you are closer to those answers or further in that journey than you were when you wrote these songs?
Yes, I think I am so much further like in my like healing journey, I guess, than I was before. Like I feel like I'm in such a better place mentally now. Kind of just, I guess, working through all of that,
Hmm.
out loud and through lyrics and, this whole project. Yeah, I think a lot of it is like I didn't have a very stable childhood. Like, my parents got divorced when I was 6 months old. And so, and both of them have been married to a few other people each. So it was just a lot of like people in and out of my life, from a very young age. And that's kind of what inspired people leave mostly. Like I would get attached to somebody, and think like, oh, this is like my new dad, for example, and then like the next month, like they'd be gone. And so that just kind of like engraved in my brain, like I can't, mostly with men too, like that I can just never trust that, like that's kind of what got engraved into my head growing up. And so people leave is kind of me like working through that. But I think, yeah, also like as an artist, it's such a unstable like type of career. And for somebody like me that has moved around a lot, had a lot of people in and out of my life growing up, like I'm somebody like personally, like as a human, like that really craves stability. And sometimes I'm like, why did I choose this career path? Because this is the most like unstable and inconsistent career like I could have possibly chosen. So that's really hard, especially like being an independent artist. Like, like financially, there's like struggles. It's very expensive to be an
Oh
artist. Like,
yeah.
you know, I feel like most people like don't even like think about that or like realize that. But yeah, like that can be a challenge just all in itself. And then also like for me and working through all these things and trying to love myself and trying to like give myself validation instead of looking outward for that validation from people. Um, that's also hard being an artist because like I'm putting it out there. I want to be a successful artist, but in order for me to do that, like people kind of have to like me and like my music and like, so yeah, I think all of that combined kind of is what inspired the EP. But now that it's all said and done, I feel like I have healed so much and honestly learned so much about myself throughout
Mhm.
this process. So,
And you've helped so many others too. I mean, it's a
yeah.
fantastic journey to be on. Um, so speaking of people leave, um, that song I was going to specifically ask about the vague nature and if there was a true story that kind of inspired it, and you kind of already answered that. Um, I don't know. I'm a new dad. I have a 7 month old, and
Aw.
we watch Bluey all the time. And there's this great line in Bluey where, um, very similar to your song "People Leave," where one of the characters leave in the show, and the mom says sometimes people come into our lives for a short amount of time to teach us a lesson, and then they're just gone. And that is a very sad fact of life, and you put it into great words lyrically, and it's definitely something that a lot of people have struggled with. I have struggled with the same situation. My parents were divorced and very similar upbringing, but away from that side of the world, let's talk about you as a person and some of the things you do outside of your music. What are some of your like hobbies that kind of keep your mind occupied outside of the music industry?
Yeah. So I actually work as a veterinary technician part time. So I, work at an animal hospital. And yeah, take care of sick animals and see cute puppies and kittens that come in. And yeah, it can be really challenging sometimes, but so rewarding other times. And I just really enjoy it. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm just an artist full time, and not working a separate job because it's kind of hard to juggle both.
Hmm.
Um, but for right now, I'm doing that part time, and love it. I have two dogs of my own. Their names are Finn and Otter, and They are our babies. Like they are like we don't my husband and I we don't have kids yet. And they are like literally our children. So anytime I am hanging out with them or taking them on a walk or something, like I'm just happy. So they've helped me a lot with my mental health for sure. Um Traveling, like traveling is a big passion of mine. I would love to travel more. Hopefully, do like a world tour
Yeah.
would be amazing. But yeah, we're going to Greece this summer.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
I know it's been like my number one dream place to like vacation to for my whole life. It's been like a dream of mine. So we're finally going for like 12 nights and doing some island hopping with my husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited for that and hopefully we'll get to travel more. But yeah, I guess animals, mostly dogs, and traveling and getting outside, taking walks. I've been more into working out the last like 6 months or so, and that's also helped like with mental health stuff too. So yeah, kind of all of those things. That's kind of what keeps me sane most of the time, and music, of course.
Of course. Um, so the other thing that we always ask all of our guests, typically I have my little sister here and she has her whole thing that she says, but we like to ask every artist, what is more important to you in production? Because the show is called the Hook and Bridge Podcast for a reason. I am the hook, my little sister's the bridge, obviously, because she's not here, which is great for this situation, right? Because pop music doesn't really have bridges anymore. So,
Yeah.
but what
What
when
is that?
yeah, when writing music though, I'm sure you've written a handful of bridges in your day. What do you find more valuable in the production process, the hook versus the bridge?
Uh, um, I guess it really depends on the song, if I'm being honest, but I would lean more towards the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, your people are going to hear it more than they are the bridge. So I feel like maybe like for that reason alone, like it's got to be good. Like it's like it's got to be something that hooks you.
Of course.
So I don't know. That's just my thinking. The hook. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And then this is a new one that we've started asking is what would be your dream collaboration?
Oh my gosh. Um. Oh, I'm torn. I'm torn between Maggie Lindemann. I love her. Or Halsey. I don't know. I would maybe have to say Halsey. I mean, but just because I have been a fan of hers like for forever. Like she got me through like middle school and high school, honestly. So I would have to say her. She also has a really crazy story of like how she got to where she is. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a really like rags to riches, type of story, which I just think is so cool. So like I would love to hear more about that. So yeah, I would say Halsey.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like that was the first thing when I listened to your stuff was that you have this very Halsey vocal range, right? And the way that you inflect on words very similar. So it's clear that she's been a big influence in your music.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that I wanted to ask you is artists to look up to that are up and coming. Who are you as an up and comer looking at and saying, "Oh, that person's going to be huge someday."
I think the main person that comes to mind would be Chandler Layton.
Yeah.
She's I think she's sitting at around like 1 million monthly listeners right now on Spotify, but I remember she put something. I follow her on Instagram, and she put something on her story one time, and it was a screenshot from like a year or 2 years prior, and this was like a year ago when I saw this, so like 3 years ago at this point. And it was a screenshot of her monthly listeners on Spotify, and it was like 200K or 200 and something K. And she was just talking about like how much like her life has changed in the past couple of years, and that can happen for any artist. It just takes one song or one TikTok even, or something like that. So she just inspires me a lot, and like musically and sonically and lyrically. She's amazing, and I really look up to her. So
Yeah, I'm gonna look her up after this. I actually have not I'm not familiar with her, so I'm gonna look her up after this interview
it's
and just
great.
check
Yes,
out
you
her stuff.
have to.
Yeah. Um, so the new EP comes out April 18th. I've listened to it, like I said, like 10 times. I think it's great. I think everybody should check it out. I personally really gravitated towards Paralyzed on the EP. I really enjoyed that song. I think that Ghost is a fantastic track. I think that I'm a hipster, so I believe I Will Be Honest is my personal least favorite, but it's more of just the popularity of it that
Yeah.
that bums me out. Everybody loves it, so I have to be against the grain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes out April 18th. This is out on Monday the 14th, so it's this week. That's awesome. Is
Yes.
is
Yeah.
there anything going on as far as like a tour or any dates coming up?
I don't have a tour set right now. I'm hoping that will be something in the works like later this year, hopefully. There's a couple people that I would love to open up for that are kind of similar to me. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Can you give any insight on who those artists are? Or
Um, there's been a couple in mind. One, I don't know if you know who she is. Her name is Alexa Capelli.
yeah,
Yeah. I that's been like one she's like on my list. Like I would love to open up for her. In Chandler, like that is another one I would just die if I got to open up for her. So yeah, we'll see. We are kind of in the point where I'm just kind of brainstorming, and soon that will be something that like my team will work on, is kind of reaching out and seeing, if we could join a tour, opening up for somebody like that. That's kind of my next stop, I guess, like later this year. So
yeah. Awesome. Again, Lauren Presley, everybody, and we're gonna get started on this game. Are you ready to test your music knowledge?
I'm ready. I guess
All
I'm ready.
right. So today we are playing some pop hits trivia. From the Bohemian Amigos record store. Shout out to them. Record store day was today, and we have some great records to put up here soon. All right. So normally I would play against you, but since I'm the only one here and I'm going to be reading the questions, that seems kind of unfair. So we're just going to test your knowledge a little bit and see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. First question. Which band, oh, these are all multiple choice, by the way. That helps.
Okay.
Which band released the album Automatic for the People in 1992? A, The Fugees, B, REM, C, Metallica, or D, Radiohead?
Oh my gosh. I wasn't even alive then. um Metallica?
It is not Metallica. It is REM.
REM. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So you said you're what, 25?
I'm 25, so I was born in barely 1999, December 22nd, 1999.
My little sister's 23. So I don't know what that was. 2002, 2001, something like that. So
Yeah, something like
ugh,
that.
these might be tough for you then.
I know, I'm terrified.
um, let's see here. Okay, here we go. This is a little more your area of expertise. Terry Raymond the Fourth is better known by what name? A. Nas, B. Ja Rule, C. Usher, or D. Neo?
Terry Raymond. Oh my gosh, I don't know this either. This is so bad. Um, Neo?
Ooh, close. It is C, Usher.
Sure. Oh, dang it. Okay.
That's all right. We'll get you on the board.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, you're definitely not gonna know that one.
I probably won't. You're probably right.
Okay, here we go. House of Pain had a hit song in 1992. Was it A, Rhythm is a Dancer, B, Jump Around, C, Around the World, or D, Achy Breaky Heart?
Pretty sure it's not D because I'm pretty sure that's Billy Ray Cyrus.
It is.
So, um, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Is it A?
Ooh, it is not A. You are really bad at this. It is B, Jump Around. Fun fact about House of Pain, Everlast is the lead singer of House of Pain, and Everlast went on to be a solo artist putting out a huge hit back in the day. Um, but I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. What It's Like, that's the name of it. Here we go. All right, this one's going to be pretty easy, I think.
Okay.
In which year did Mariah Carey release her debut album? A, 1993, B, 1990, C, 1992, or D, 1991?
Oh my gosh, those dates were so close.
They're all in order.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I knew it
In
was
the 90s?
like early 90s, but like, oh, those are so specific. 1992.
Oh, so close. It
What was
was B, 1990.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is
That's all
horrible.
right. That's all right. This
This
is
is
gonna make a great clip. Um, let's see here. Okay, Michelle Williams was a member of which girl band? A, Eternal, B, Destiny's Child, C, the Spice Girls, or D, TLC?
Oh, I think this was before my time as well. Um, I'm just gonna have to guess the Spice Girls.
Wow, you always you come in like you're giving the wish answer when we're looking for the Amazon, and the answer is B, Destiny's Child.
Okay, I'm horrified with myself.
Let's see. I you've only missed 5. That's not,
Every single one. It's fine.
it's fine.
Still,
Let's see here. Okay, this is a later one. In what year did Justin Bieber and Louis Fonsi release Despacito? A, 2016, B, 2018, C, 2015, or D, 2017?
I'm thinking it's either 2016 or 2015. Um, 2016.
I'm sorry.
Was it
It's
20? Is it
it's
2015?
2017.
What? Oh my gosh! I feel like that song has been around for so much longer than that.
It
Oh,
feels like forever ago.
it really does. Okay.
2017, that was oh yeah, that was almost 10 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like it's been around yeah, for forever. Okay. Wow.
All right, let's see here. Okay, I think you'll get this one. I said that a lot, but I think you will. Um, who had a hit with the song Perfect in 2017? A, Post Malone, B, Sam Smith, C, Justin Timberlake, or D, Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
Yeah, there. We got one on the board.
one.
I think
That was a little more my speed.
honestly, that seems like it may be the only one. I'll give you. We'll do two more, and
Oh, no.
then if if we end up with just the one, it's still a win.
Okay.
Okay, this is a pretty easy one. Um, in 2002, who had an album titled "Songs About Jane"? Um, A. One Republic, B. Coldplay, C. Maroon 5, or D. Kanye.
Maroon 5.
It is Maroon 5. We got
Okay.
two. We got
Yay.
two.
I like Maroon 5, so
That album specifically is such an iconic album. It was before they went heavy into uh pop, and it was still more of that like train alternative
mhm.
style. It was also before he cheated on his wife, so things were simpler then.
Yeah, simpler times.
Let's see here. Who had a hit song, How Do I Live, in 1997? A. Tony Braxton, B. Leanne Rimes, C. Celine Dion, or D. Mariah Carey.
Oh, it's either B or C. Um, that's the song that's like, how do I live without you?
That's
That?
the one.
Oh. Um,
Now Celine Dion, she's known for the flute solo in Titanic.
yes. Okay, it's gotta be Leanne Rimes.
It is Leanne Rimes.
Okay. Yay!
Hey, look at that. Three
Yeah,
out of like 8 isn't bad, you
I
know?
made a comeback a little bit towards the end.
All right, I'll go ahead and leave it there, and I want to give you the win, you know.
Yeah,
So
let's
so
softball on my head, please.
Lauren Presley, everybody on the show today, the new EP coming out in April 18th, Hanging in the Balance. We didn't even talk about that song, Hanging in the Balance. The shortest song on the EP, kind of opens everything up. I assume that it's short on purpose as like an homage to Hanging in the Balance.
Yes, yeah, it is a prelude essentially. So, yeah, it kind of summarizes the whole EP um, in one and kind of prepares you, kind of prepares your ears for the rest of the EP. So, yes, that is the first track on the EP, and then People Leave, and then Can I Be Happy, and then Paralyzed, and then Ghost.
Now, are you just kind of reveling in the success right now, or are you getting back onto the grind and starting to write more for the future already? Or are you just kind of sitting back and saying, let me let this grow for now?
Um, I I'm kind of like a workaholic, so it's been kind of crazy with the EP and trying to get everything ready and content and posting and marketing and all the things. And I have also I've still been writing for like what's to come after the EP. So like this month and next month I have a lot of sessions, but I'm thinking after May, like I'm thinking I'm going to just not do sessions and really just like live life for a few months. I can easily get stuck in this thing of like constantly writing, constantly trying to put out music, constantly like, doing the content and stuff. Then I'm like not living my life as like a normal human being. And I think that's super important to do as an artist so that you can live and have these experiences to inspire you and to write about. So I'm trying to be better about that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break for a couple months.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's definitely well earned, right? So the other question I have is, will there be any physical releases of this EP?
As of right now, we don't have plans to. That could change, especially if it's something that's like being requested. Um, it's open for discussion, but at the current moment, no.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Lauren, for being on the show today. Thanks for being a part of the Hook and Bridge podcast family. And yeah, everybody go check out the new EP out this Friday.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. You have yourself a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Mhm. All right, everybody. That is the end of the show. I'm not used to doing this last part on my own, but yeah. Check out the Instagram, the YouTube, the website, and if you like everything that we do, please, subscribe and follow and the notification bell and all that stuff that Taylor talks about every week. Yeah, appreciate all of the support, and it has been real, and peace.